Now if you look at an up-to-date list of modern caravans, you won't see the name Abbey. Abbey was a fantastic manufacturer that worked back in Grimsby. And it hit hard times, even though it had invented things like the first caravan in the UK to have fiberglass sheet walls. When it went down, Swift bought the name, and this one was manufactured the other side of the Humber at the Swift Works. It's the GTS, and that meant high quality, top of the range stuff. Well, what's good about this? I'll show you. You don't see many caravans with a fully framed window. That gives so much stability. And it doesn't end there, just look at this. A silvered blind, so on those hot days in the south of France, the sun doesn't make it like an oven inside. No, we're talking quality in this van, and I want to take you on a quality trip. Yes, I know it may seem boring, but this corner steady is one of the top of the range types, not the little fragile ones that you get in entry-level caravans. That will give stability. Now, if boring is what I do, and sometimes it's absolutely right, let's just go to the front here, because there's more boring points, but they're important. Yes, that's not the latest, because this is a 2006 model, but those systems work well as stabilisers. Hey, have you ever seen a jockey wheel that's actually pneumatic and inflates? I can tell you from experience that on a rough old campsite and on the pitch, they are a delight to work with. Can anybody spot anything? Can you see why this brake is different? Anybody know? No button, for example. No gas strut. This one is the Alco Euro brake, and it's got all kinds of features in the geometry and the mechanism that you only get in the top of range caravans. It isn't obviously visible perhaps, but there's a little light here for the gas locker. You see, you can never have electricity in gas lockers in case electricity equals spark, gas cylinders equal leaks, bang. It's here. And obviously it illuminates what's inside. And when we get inside, we can see that it's a wall-mounted gas regulator, because that's the situation in vans of 2006. All very splendid and nicely fitted. So this is a GTS inside, and I see space. I see sort of colour in a light way, and that perhaps gives it this airiness. It seems to work. It's a 4-berth, 2 in the lounge, and also there's a permanent double bed. Adjacent to the bed you've got a shower, a very straightforward little cubicle which embraces the toilet, all of it tucked away in that end of the caravan. Now wait, what's this strange item here? It's a 2006 model, and would you believe it, but there's a carbon monoxide alarm and a gas alarm fitted way back then. It's only in the last couple of years or so when CO alarms have become mandatory. Am I right? I'm thinking this Abbey is well ahead of its time. And the tidiness continues. The designers made sure that there's a sort of a symmetry in the way these various controls are laid out. This one's for television, and you can put a television here and you can point it towards those people relaxing in the lounge. Of course, it doesn't stop there. Lift this up, swivel your TV around, and anybody in the bed can watch that as well. Now look, I know that's fitted on a number of recent caravans, but this was in 2006. Perhaps this was the forerunner of the idea. And talking of the double bed, it's a fairly conventional layout, and as always though, a very, very big underbed storage area. You can cram all sorts of things in here. Technically speaking though, I like the fact that there's a lot of aluminium struts giving support but saving weight. To the side of the bed we can look at the nice shower, we can look at the fact it's easily shut off, and intriguingly the wash basin's completely separate and has its mirror as usual. So that's this double bed section at the end of the van. Let's close it. And what I want to look at now is the woodwork, because these rather fine cupboard fronts are imported from Italy and they look, to me, very, very sound. The trouble is things like cookers and so forth add weight. How do they save it here? Isn't this clever? Dividers that really are So strong and yet so weight saving. Yes, impressive. And there's another area too. You know, I tend to look at plumbing because I do like my plumbing systems to work. And it's all under the front here. And it's one of the tidiest arrangements I think I've come across in a while. Not only is it the fact that I like these sturdy semi-rigid pipes that are all at right angles and neatly clipped down, all compact and right next to the battery box. All in all, this perhaps would be different in today's latest vans. There's a tendency for the Truma water heater and the Truma space heater to be combined in a combi unit. Quite a number of the latest vans also have Aldi central heating, which is a wet system with radiators. That's the only difference that I can see between this 2006 model and 2014 ones. And since this is up for sale at $8,500, in my way of thinking, this is a mighty good buy.